Well, welcome back, kindergartners. I hope you enjoyed this story video of a very hungry caterpillar. It's just a fun way to listen to the book. So we're going to finish the next step of our project, our second to last step of our project. So again, you should have gotten all of your materials and a scissor and a glue stick. So let's work on our last part of our project today. So first thing I'm going to do is move everything kind of off of my paper and unclip my materials. We still do not need our wrapping paper yet, so I'm going to put that off to the side. And if you have your stuff in your envelope, go ahead and get it out of your envelope and put it on your paper, and we're ready to go. Now, I hope that you would have already finished your other steps that you have here from last week. If you haven't finished those steps yet, obviously you need to do that first before you can do our part here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do, this is the head of our caterpillar. We're going to put some antennas, eyes, and a mouth on our caterpillar. Then, and we're going to do that with our black paper. And then under the body, we're going to make little legs for our caterpillar. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my piece of paper in half, okay? And I'm going to set half of it aside for my legs, okay? So I'm going to put it over here. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my paper in half one more time. And I'm going to set that piece aside too for a moment, okay? This piece right here is going to be my eyes and my nose, or my eyes and my mouth. So one more time, okay? So I took my piece of paper and I cut it in half, right? And then I cut it in half again, okay? And then now I have this piece. Now this small piece, we're going to cut into kind of thirds. Do you see how I'm doing it? There's a bigger part at the top and a smaller at the bottom, okay? So this is going to be our mouth, okay? And then this is going to be our eyes. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a half circle with my mouth. So holding the bottom like this, okay? You guys see how I'm holding the bottom? I'm going to cut a half circle. So almost like a taco shape where I'm going to go up and over and do a half circle, okay? So I'm going to put it on there so you kind of see the shape that I just did. And if we look at that half circle then, let's see how it goes for the size of the mouth. Right there is the size of our mouth for our caterpillar. So this little part, I'm going to throw that away. So I'm going to put that over to the side. Now, if you want to have an actual kind of lip smile, you could make a little half circle by cutting a smaller one out of it. So I actually did another smaller piece, and now I have a real kind of smile like that, okay? Then I'm gonna, of course, or if you want just a smaller mouth, you could still actually use that guy. You guys get to choose. I like my open mouth, so this is going to become garbage. And now at this point, I'm going to put some glue with my glue stick, open it up, remember, twist it open. And I'm going to put some glue on my mouth and glue it onto my face of my caterpillar. So there's my smile, okay? Now at this point, if you need to catch up with me, kindergartners, you can actually hit, I believe it's a space bar on your computer to stop the video so you can keep watching at this point. So you can finish up your mouth and get that glued on. And remember, I still have my other pieces here. So if you want to stop the video, you may do that right now by, actually, I think you might be able to click on the actual video too by putting your mouse on it and click on it. So if you want to stop the video, and then we're going to come back to do the eyes. Okay, so I hope you have started the video again, or maybe you just were able to keep up with me. And we're going to do the eyes next, okay? So on here now to do two of the exact same shapes. I don't know if we have learned this yet in class, but let's do this together. You're going to fold your shape in half, okay? So remember, we had our half a sheet for the legs. We have our antennas, and then that smaller piece that we have here, we're going to fold that in half. And then now that it's in half, I'm going to make one circle, but because it's folded in half, we're going to actually get two of the exact same circles, okay? So now I'm going to hold it, and I know it's a small piece, but you're going to make the best circle you can. And if it's not a perfect circle, that's totally okay. So now it looks like I just have one circle here, but really I have two because I folded my paper in half, okay? Then I'm going to get my glue and I'm going to glue it down to do the eyes of my caterpillar. And this is extra that I can put in my extra pile there. So now I'm going to get my glue stick and I'm going to put my little eyeball on top of my glue stick and rub it around. And your fingers might get a little sticky. You might need to wash your fingers in between this. And again, I'm going to put some glue and it's stuck to my finger and I'm going to stick it onto my caterpillar's face. Now we still need the antennas. So at this point, if you want to pause the video again, you can, okay? And now I'm going to do the antennas, okay? Now, if you're watching this video on YouTube, you can for sure hit the space bar to start and stop it. And that's the way that I gave you or your parents directions to help you with that, okay? So this time, we're going to take our next biggest piece of paper, not our feet one, and this one we are going to fold in half again, okay? So we're going to fold it in half, and it doesn't really matter which direction you fold it in half. If you do it the hamburger way or the hot dog way, you're going to fold it in half, okay? So now I folded it in half. Kind of see that I folded it like that, right? Now I'm going to do the antennas. And this is how we can do the antennas. We're going to go up and up. Kind of like we have two pieces here, up and up. You going to see that? Okay. Now at the top, I'm going to actually make a circle at the top of that. So around and around and around, and then back down. Okay, so just like that. And it looks like I got a little extra piece there. So there are my two antennas. And it looks like I have a little piece I want to trim up before I go put it on my thing here because I didn't cut it quite perfectly. So I'm going to trim that extra little piece off. So what you could do though, if this is a harder shape for you to do, what you can do, let me draw it over here for you on my piece of paper. So the shape that I just did for you guys was an up and around and a down. Okay, that's our antenna shape. Do you see that same shape? Now, if that is too hard, this is the other way you can do it. You could do a little rectangle separate and a circle separate, and then just glue them together and you can make your antenna, okay? So that's another way you can do it if you are struggling to make our antenna, is to do just a little rectangle and a circle and glue it kind of together like that. So now it is time to glue my antennas on. Okay, so again, rub it on my glue stick and put them right on the top of my caterpillar's head. Rub the other one right on the top of my caterpillar's head. Oh, Juto! Let's get him back on there. And there is my caterpillar. Uh-oh, looks like I don't have enough glue on there. Get a little bit more glue, glue it down, okay? So now we're done with our caterpillar's head. Now I want to put some feet, little feet on my caterpillar. So at this point, let's see how big I need my feet to be. Not too big. So I'm going to take my, my piece of paper and I'm going to create a small little strip. You see what I'm cutting here? I'm just cutting a small little strip off of the top, okay? And this bigger piece I can put aside, and maybe I can even use that if I made some mistakes on my eyes and my antenna. There's a little bit of extra. So I'm going to put that to the side. And now what I'm going to do with this little strip that I have here is I'm just going to do little legs. So I'm just going to snip off little strips for the legs. So again, cut a whole bunch of them off, maybe all the way down to that piece. As it's getting closer to your fingers, be careful not to cut your fingers. Maybe you just don't use that last part, okay? So here's my little feet now. And now I'm going to take my feet for my caterpillar, and one at a time, I'm going to take my glue stick again, and I'm going to rub it on the top of my glue stick. And I'm going to maybe do 2 feet her body. I'm going to stick my fingers all sticky so I can actually pick it up with my sticky finger. And I'm going to do, look at that. I can just pick it right up with my sticky finger, rub it over there. And if your fingers get too sticky that you can't get rid of that piece of paper, you might want to go wash your fingers, okay? So again, back and forth, and we're going to put 2 little feet on each of his body. And if you need to cut a few more, not sure if I have enough, if you need to cut a few more, you have all that extra paper to make another strip with, okay? Uh-oh, that one kind of is a tricky one because of where it's at. So maybe that one just gets one leg, the other leg is maybe hidden. And I keep putting my little feet onto the body. So at this point, then again, snip up your paper. My fingers are getting kind of sticky right now. Might want to go wash them up. But I think I'll finish the video with you guys first. Okay? So 2 more feet. It looks like I got some extras. If I want, I can actually maybe put 3 on part of the body, or you can just throw away those extras depending on what you want to do. So I think I maybe want an extra one right there. I'm going to do another one. I want one right there. Let's see, can I put that other one anywhere else? I don't think I want any feet on his head, so I'm going to leave that alone. But there is our caterpillar. So I'm going to put my glue stick aside because I still have one more step today. I'm going to get rid of all my black. And I do still have this other big piece of black that if you need to use it for more feet or you need to redo your eyes and your antenna, you have some extra that you can use if you need to. If not, you can put that aside for maybe another art project, or we don't really need that anymore. Maybe you want to keep it for the butterfly's wings later. That might be fun. So I am going to keep that. We'll put it off to the side for right now. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to get my green piece of paper. Okay, so here's my green piece of paper. And I'm going to do the same thing that I just did with my feet. I'm going to do a strip of green. And I'm going to do another strip of green the long way. Notice how I'm cutting it the long way. We're going to try to do 3 strips, okay? And what I'm going to do now, let's just put those over there, is I'm going to make triangles. So I'm going to snip a triangle. And now here's the cool thing with the triangle. I can just keep on going back and forth. Notice how I can go from this point up, and that creates kind of an upside down triangle. Then I can go from that point to that point, and I'm just going to keep on making triangles to create my grass. Maybe I'll make one last skinny one here. And I have some pieces for my grass. Now I have plenty more because I'm going to probably need some more up there, but I can start gluing these down. I can even use my little guys here. So now I'll get my glue stick again. Okay, I'm going to take my triangles, I'm going to rub them on the top. And now I'm going to take my grass and I'm going to start over on the bottom, way over there, to make my first piece of grass. Then I'm going to put another glue on my another piece, and I'm going to keep on going. Maybe I'm going to overlap them a little. Notice how I'm on top of the pieces next to it. Make sure you have plenty of glue on here so the pieces don't fall off, okay? And again, stick it down there close to the bottom to create the grass on my paper. So at this point then, I'm going to finish all of my green grass, and it looks like I'm going to run out before I get to the edge. So I'm going to take my extra paper here. Okay, I know I'm going to need more, so let's do that already. So I'm going to take my paper again. Let's see how we did that, where we cut at an angle up, and then from that point, we cut down. From that point, we angled it up. From that top point, we angled it down. From the other top point, we just keep on going back and forth till I get to the edge. And then that little triangle we can use too. So my job now is, and your job to finish your colorful caterpillar, this step today, is to finish the feet. You haven't done those yet. And if you're just watching the video, to finish the antennas and the eye. Remember, the antennas and the eye, you fold your paper in half and do one of the shape cuts, and it gives you 2. And then once you have that all glued in place, you're going to make your triangles. and you're gonna go across the bottom of your paper with all those extra triangles, okay? Now, when you're all done with this, anything that's extra, I still am gonna glue those on, but anything that's extra, I can make sure I'm cleaning up after myself and go throw that away. And then that is our project today, you guys, is to finish the antennas, the eyes, the mouth, the legs, and the grass. And when we're done, we'll twist our glue back cap down again, put that together, throw away any of our extra pieces, and then we need to paper clip our colorful paper together and my black piece of paper. So imagine that I have finished everything. Let's move that out of the way. Imagine I'm all done, and I'm going to clip this all back together for our last week of our project, where we're going to make our butterfly up in the air and maybe make a sun and some clouds and some other stuff. So your project today, again, kindergartners, is to finish the antennas, the eyes, the mouth, and the triangles for the grass. So when you're all finished with that today, you can go put all your stuff away, and we'll see you next week for our final steps of our very colorful caterpillar project. So great job, kindergartners. Have a very happy Easter week, and we'll see you next week.